Imagine getting into your car, pressing one hidden button, and suddenly feeling twice the power. Sounds unreal, right? Many drivers believe this is just a myth. But the truth is, modern cars have not just one, but 13 hidden ways to improve performance. Car companies do this on purpose. Emission rules, safety limits, and engine protection settings reduce the car's full power. Because of this, most drivers never know how much power their car really has. They just don't know where to look. Get ready. The hidden power is about to be unlocked. Number 1. Hidden drive mode menus. Most drivers press sport mode and never realize there's a deeper layer of performance underneath. Inside sport or custom modes are submodes that quietly control how the car behaves. These menus let you tune the engine, transmission, suspension, and steering individually. The default sport setting is a compromise. It balances excitement with comfort, fuel economy, and engine protection. Manufacturers design it this way for most drivers, but it's rarely the most aggressive setup available. Deeper menus let you sharpen throttle response without stiffening the suspension. You can hold gears longer without heavy steering, and each system can be pushed closer to its performance limit independently. This level of control changes how the car feels. Acceleration becomes smoother because the engine responds exactly as you command. Shifts feel intentional, not automatic. Suspension reacts to the road, not assumptions. The car stops guessing and starts obeying. Many vehicles hide these options under custom, individual, or advanced drive settings. Some require multiple screen taps or menu layers. That complexity keeps casual drivers away. But for those who explore, the reward is huge. The strongest cars aren't defined by engine size, they're defined by drivers who know which buttons unlock the car's true potential. Which button surprised you the most and showed you how much performance you've been leaving unused? Drop your experience in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more smart car tips. And before you go, check out our next video on proven habits that make engines run like new again. You won't want to miss it. Number 2. Sport mode. Pressing sport mode is like waking your car from a nap. Most drivers think it just makes gear shifts faster, but it does much more. Sport mode changes how the car responds across throttle, transmission, steering, and even suspension. Throttle mapping is sharper, so the engine reacts instantly when you press the pedal. Every input feels more alive and immediate. Transmission logic changes too. The system holds gears longer, delays upshifts, and predicts your next move. Acceleration becomes smoother but more aggressive, with torque available exactly when you need it. Steering and suspension often stiffen at the same time, giving better cornering control and high-speed stability. Every turn, highway merge, or overtake suddenly feels precise and confident. Manufacturers often downplay this mode because it reveals the car's hidden potential. On paper, the difference may look small, but on the road, it's unmistakable. Drivers who ignore sport mode leave performance unused, never realizing how much more responsive and connected the car can feel. It's an obvious button many overlook, yet it can turn routine driving into an exhilarating experience. With sport mode engaged, the car finally behaves the way it was designed to feel. But the deepest performance secrets still lie beyond this button, waiting for drivers willing to explore further. Number 3. The Assist Silence button. Sometimes your car doesn't fully trust you. That's why driver assist systems exist, to protect, predict, and prevent mistakes. But to do that, they quietly limit how much power you can use. Systems like lane assist, collision mitigation, and steering correction are always alert, even when everything looks fine. They may slightly restrict throttle or adjust steering just in case, preparing to intervene before danger happens. This silent supervision changes how the car feels. Acceleration can feel cautious. Throttle response softens, and the car hesitates when you expect smooth, immediate movement. Most drivers never notice because the systems rarely activate visibly, but the limits are always there. Disabling these systems removes the invisible guardrails. Throttle becomes more direct and predictable. Steering feels lighter because the car stops second-guessing you. Power flows steadily, without anything holding it back. This doesn't make the car unsafe. It simply gives control back to the driver. On open roads, clear weather, or controlled situations, the difference is obvious. The car feels sharper, more responsive, and easier to place exactly where you want. Every input produces an honest reaction. The assist silence button doesn't add horsepower. Instead, it restores confidence. It tells the car, "I'm in charge now." When trust returns between driver and machine, performance finally feels natural again. Number 4, the heat permission switch. Power doesn't disappear when a car gets hot, it gets locked away. Modern cars monitor temperatures long before any warning lights appear. The ECU checks oil temperature, intake air heat, transmission warmth, and even battery stress. When any of these get too high, the car quietly reduces power. You feel it as sluggish acceleration or softer throttle response. There's no alarm, the car is just protecting itself. This is where the heat permission mindset comes in. Short bursts of aggressive driving feel strong because temperatures stay safe. But long pulls, repeated launches, or steep uphill runs build heat quickly. Once the car reaches thermal limits, the ECU steps in, boost is reduced, throttle softens, and timing changes. The power hasn't gone, it's just paused. Airflow plays a big role. Moving air cools radiators, intercoolers, and oil systems faster. That's why the car feels stronger at speed than in stop-and-go traffic. Warm-up also matters. Cold engines limit power to prevent damage. Driving gently brings components up to optimal temperatures faster. Smart drivers work with the system, not against it. Proper warm-ups unlock full output sooner. Short cooldowns can restore lost performance. Even things like hood vents, clean radiators, and proper airflow paths make a difference. The engine delivers its best only when conditions are right, and understanding this hidden system gives you a real advantage. Number 5, paddle shifters. Automatic transmissions are designed for smoothness and efficiency, not maximum performance. They upshift early to save fuel or protect the engine, which can trap power in lower RPMs. The result? Acceleration feels weak, and the car never shows its full potential. Paddle shifters give control back to the driver. By holding a gear at the right RPM, the engine stays in its strongest power range. Downshifts happen exactly when needed, sending torque instantly to the wheels. The car feels sharper and more responsive because you decide when to shift, not the computer. Early upshifts are prevented, keeping acceleration consistent and thrilling. This is especially noticeable during spirited driving, highway merges, or overtaking slower cars. The difference between automatic mode and paddle control is like night and day. Every press of a paddle gives a precise gear change, keeping the engine lively and energetic. Torque is available exactly when you demand it, turning every acceleration into a controlled surge. Using paddle shifters doesn't increase horsepower, but it unlocks the power that's already there. Manual control reconnects you to the car, making every drive more engaging and satisfying. It turns a polite automatic into a responsive, high-performance partner. If you've been following along, hit subscribe so you don't miss more hidden features and performance tips. And trust me, the next buttons we'll reveal are ones most drivers don't even know exist. Keep watching. Number 6, traction control off. Sometimes your car can feel like it's holding back, and in a way, it is. Traction control exists to stop wheel spin, but in doing so, it often hides the engine's full power. Sensors monitor wheel speed and throttle input. When slip is detected, the system cuts power or applies brakes. In normal driving, this keeps things safe. But during spirited driving or quick maneuvers, it can feel like an invisible hand is limiting your car. Modern cars let you partially or fully turn off traction control. Partial mode allows some wheel spin but still prevents dangerous slides. Fully off releases all torque to the wheels. The difference is immediate. Launches feel sharper. Corner exits feel confident. Acceleration isn't softened by software anymore. But with freedom comes responsibility. On slippery roads or loose surfaces, mistakes are punished instantly. Knowing this button is like understanding the car's secret language. It separates cautious drivers from those who are in control. Used wisely, turning off traction control unlocks the car's raw responsiveness. Power flows directly, reactions are quicker, and driving becomes thrilling again. This doesn't add horsepower, it releases the power already waiting under your right foot. Raw torque feels intoxicating, especially when you realize the gearbox and systems were politely holding it back all along. Number 7, Eco Mode off. Sometimes called the invisible brake, eco mode quietly changes how your engine responds. When it's turned on, the throttle becomes less sensitive. Even if you press the pedal hard, the car accelerates more slowly. Turbocharged engines feel this even more because boost is limited, and full power takes longer to arrive. In many cars, eco mode turns back on automatically every time you restart the engine. Drivers often don't notice and wonder why the car feels slow. Eco mode is designed to save fuel, but it reduces performance. Acceleration feels delayed. Merging onto highways takes longer, and passing slower vehicles feels less confident. The car is capable of more, but the system is holding it back. Some drivers even blame themselves, thinking they didn't press the pedal hard enough. In reality, the system is limiting the response. When you switch eco mode off, the difference is clear. Throttle response becomes quicker and more direct. Turbo boost works more freely, and acceleration feels immediate. The car feels more alive and responsive to your input. With one press of a button, the engine is no longer restricted. The system steps back, and you take control. The car is finally ready to move unless another hidden system decides to step in. Number 8. The parking lock. Many drivers ignore the parking brake today because push-button systems have made it easy to forget. In older cars, you pulled a handbrake or pressed a foot brake. That action clearly told you the car was fully secured. Modern cars have replaced that habit with electronic parking brakes, which use motors and sensors instead of cables. This button does the same job as the old handbrake. It locks the car in place when parked. But unlike older mechanical systems, it constantly checks things like road slope, wheel movement, and brake pressure before allowing the car to move. Until the system confirms everything is safe, it may slightly limit power when you shift from park to drive. This small delay can feel like hesitation, but it's not an engine problem. It's a safety feature designed to ensure smooth and controlled movement. Features like hill hold, creep control, and incline detection are connected to this system. They prevent the car from rolling backward or jumping forward on slopes. While these features improve safety, they can slightly delay throttle response and prevent aggressive launches on purpose. This protects the drivetrain and brakes. When you manually release the parking brake properly, the car can feel more immediate and responsive. The power was always there, it was simply being managed for safety. Once everything is ready, the engine responds exactly when you need it. Number 9. AWD and 4WD mode. Power means nothing if your tires can't use it. That's why AWD and 4WD modes are important. Modern all-wheel drive systems are no longer just simple mechanical parts. They are smart systems controlled by computers. Sensors monitor your throttle input, steering angle, wheel speed, and road grip. The system can send power where it's needed before the tires start to slip. This makes modern AWD systems predictive, not just reactive. In normal driving mode, the system focuses on fuel efficiency. Most of the power is sent to one axle to reduce drag and improve mileage. While this saves fuel, it can limit how much power actually reaches the road. The engine may be strong, but grip becomes the weak point. Switching to AWD or 4WD performance modes changes how the system behaves. Power is distributed to more wheels right away. Torque is shared earlier, even before traction is lost. This allows the engine to deliver more usable power. Acceleration feels stronger because less energy is wasted. Launches become smoother, and exiting corners feels more controlled. In rain, snow, or on rough roads, the difference is even more noticeable. This button doesn't magically add horsepower. Instead, it helps you use the power your car already has. By improving traction, AWD and 4WD modes turn engine power into real movement. When grip improves, performance improves instantly. But there is still another quiet system that can slow your response, especially when you're starting from a stop. Number 10. Auto Start-Stop Disable. The light turns green. You press the accelerator, and nothing happens for a brief moment. That short pause is the auto start-stop system restarting your engine. In traffic and at short stops, this system turns the engine off to save fuel and reduce emissions. It was designed for efficiency, not performance. When the engine turns back on, it focuses on smoothness, not speed. This can cause a small delay in throttle response right when you want to move. Even a half-second pause can feel much longer. Because the engine keeps shutting down and restarting, acceleration can feel inconsistent, especially at low speeds. Some launches feel smooth, while others feel slow and unresponsive. Over time, the car may even feel heavier than it really is. Many vehicles automatically turn this system back on every time you start the car. Drivers often accept this hesitation as normal. Turning off the auto start-stop system can instantly change how the car feels. The engine stays on and ready. Throttle response becomes quicker and more predictable. Pulling away from traffic lights feels smoother and more confident. Merging into traffic also becomes easier, with no delay. This button does not increase horsepower or torque, but it removes the artificial pause that hides the power your car already has. Once disabled, the engine responds the moment you press the pedal. If this revealed something new about your car, hit the like button so more drivers can learn about these hidden features and get more out of their vehicles. And stay tuned, we're just getting started. The next hidden button might unlock even more performance you didn't know your car had. Number 11, the gravity lever. Height affects performance even before the engine responds. Many drivers worry about ground clearance, even though their car already has a built-in solution. Modern vehicles can adjust their ride height based on driving conditions. This system is sometimes called the gravity lever, and it's usually activated with a simple button. You'll find it in cars like Volvo hybrids, Range Rovers, and other advanced sedans and SUVs. Ride height plays a big role in how a car feels on the road. When you lower the car, the center of gravity drops. This reduces body roll when turning. The steering feels sharper, more direct, and easier to control. The car also feels more stable at high speeds because there is less unwanted movement. Some vehicles even lower themselves automatically on highways. This improves aerodynamics by reducing airflow under the car. With less drag, the engine doesn't have to work as hard to maintain speed. As a result, the car can feel more powerful and efficient. Raising the ride height changes the focus completely. A higher setting improves comfort on rough roads and protects the underside of the car from obstacles or steep driveways. However, handling becomes softer and less precise. The car feels less sporty. This setting is useful, but not ideal for performance driving. The button may not be hidden, but many drivers ignore it. Instead of relying only on automatic adjustments, you can control it yourself. Lower the car when driving fast, and raise it only when extra clearance is needed. When you understand how to use ride height correctly, you're working with physics instead of against it. And once physics is on your side, the next limit isn't mechanical, it's something you feel every time the light turns green. Number 12, Turbo Overboost. Power can be released instantly with Turbo Overboost. This feature is found in many turbocharged cars from brands like BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, Ford, Porsche, and Mercedes-Benz. When activated, it allows the engine to produce more boost than usual for a short time. Here's how it works. A turbocharger spins when exhaust gases turn a turbine. That turbine powers a compressor, which pushes more air into the engine. More air means more power. The key part is the wastegate. This valve controls how much exhaust gas goes to the turbine. By carefully controlling this valve, the system can temporarily increase boost pressure. This creates a quick surge of torque, making acceleration stronger and overtaking easier. However, this extra power only lasts for a short time. Car manufacturers limit overboost to protect the engine from too much heat, keep the car reliable, and follow emissions rules. Most drivers don't even realize this feature exists. Some people try aftermarket modifications without fully understanding the risks. If done incorrectly, it can overheat or damage the turbo. When used properly, Turbo Overboost is very useful. It helps with quick highway merges, passing slower cars, or climbing steep hills. The engine feels more responsive, almost like it reacts instantly to your input. Using this feature safely gives you a brief but exciting burst of power. It shows how much hidden performance your car really has. But the boost doesn't last long on purpose. And the next feature isn't about more speed, it changes the car's balance in a whole new way. Number 13, ECT Power button. When you press the electronically controlled transmission ECT Power button, your car changes the way it shifts gears. Instead of focusing on saving fuel, it focuses on giving you more power. The engine revs higher before shifting to the next gear. It also downshifts faster, so you get more torque when you press the accelerator. Staying in lower gears longer keeps the engine in its strongest power range. This means better acceleration, stronger pulling power, and a noticeable boost when you need it. The main idea behind this feature is still the same today, but only a few drivers actually use it. You can find it in Toyota models like the Crown, Camry, Highlander, and Tundra. This button is not meant for everyday city driving. Fuel economy will drop. You may lose about 2 to 4 miles per gallon, depending on the load and road conditions. But when used at the right time, it can completely change how the car feels. When towing a trailer, ECT Power mode keeps the car in lower gears longer. This helps you climb hills more smoothly and maintain steady power. On winding mountain roads, it prevents constant gear shifting and improves engine braking, giving you better control. When merging onto highways, the car feels quicker and more responsive. If you need to pass a slower vehicle, the downshift happens faster, and the power comes in stronger. You feel more confident and in control. Next time you're driving up a steep hill or entering a short highway ramp, press the button and feel the difference.